Yeah, hey everybody, this is Ian from non-COVID cough. This is Ian from Mindful Marketplace. I'm going to record a really quick tutorial for those of you who are using the Hivepress free plugin and the many extensions that they offer for building marketplace style communities. In particular, Hivepress is a directory centric free plugin that you can download on WordPress.org. It's got incredible support from Ihor, the guy who runs the framework and the extensions and the various themes that he puts out. It's really quite a impressive operation that he's put together. Tons of users in the forum. It's a private forum, all answering questions, sharing, tips and all that sort of stuff. I don't really interact in that sort of context much, but whenever I ask a question of Ihor, he is exceptionally responsive to everybody, not just to me, to everybody. And it's really, I'm always, quite blown away at just how fantastic his support is and how great his products are. So I'm going to show you really quickly. This is running the Task Hive theme for marketplaces, and essentially this just styles the Hivepress plugin plus adds a couple other extensions. I'll show them to you here actually. So here's Hivepress. Here are the extensions. Let's see if that pulls up. I generally don't go to this page, but you can see all the various extensions that come with Hivepress. Hivepress, again, is free. The ones at the top here are fee-based, but actually come with the Task Hive theme. So I actually get these as part of the site that I'm running here, including tags, requests, statistics, marketplace, which is the most salient one for running a marketplace, obviously. And then you have favorites, geolocation, claim listings, messages, paid listings, reviews, etc. All this is free, right? So the ones that have a little bit of a price tag and maybe an aggregate, this is $120 worth of, if you bought all the extensions, they come largely with, some of the themes that you can get, the paid themes. So the free plugin is one thing, and then there's a free theme as well, which is not the best looking theme in my view. It doesn't really matter. That's not really but everyone cares to some degree, including myself, about the aesthetics, the way the site looks. But Task Hive, so you can remove a lot of these costs right off the bat. Marketplace, which is $29, is free with Task Hive, so is requests. So our tags, I believe, statistics, all of this comes for free. All right, anyway, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to show you there are two. This is for those of you moving from like a ListingPro or a Mylisting. Mylisting is still a great theme. I know that I don't use it anymore, so I'm not really up to date on what it does best. But I have clients who are using it who like it. It doesn't really matter. All this theme agnostic. What matters is the marketing, the content, the outreach that you do. Any theme works. But I just happen to be partial now to this particular set of themes and frameworks and extensions and free plugins. Okay, so we're going to go to vendors. And again, this is a little bit different if you're used to directories. Actually, let's go to attributes. And I'm going to show you some of the various ways that you can extend the vendor's attribute to really build the quintessential or ideal platform for you, right? So I only have three here, which is website, location, and hourly rate, because this is a marketplace where people are selling both services and products, right? So services and or digital downloads. So hourly rate is something that is salient here, relevant here, because people can hire them, and they can post what they charge per hour. So there's a messaging extension, like you said, where someone can just, or like you saw, where someone can actually reach out to somebody by dint of their hourly rate and hire them, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Location and website. These are things that allow you now to create a marketplace where the vendors and the listings both, because listings you'll see has a separate attribute section, can all be filtered and searched by virtue of all of these attributes that you set here. So I'm going to show you really quickly how you would do this. And it's really super simple. So you create an attribute and then you edit it, right? So you I'll show you the create actually because this has already been created, but it's really simple. And then do you want this to be editable? Can it be edited? My words are just not coming out of my mouth properly from the front end. Yes. In other words, do you want your users to be able to add their website on the front end form? Sure, you do. All right. Do you want to make that required? No, you don't. What if they don't have a website? What kind of field is it? You can select all these different things here, as you can see. In this case, it's a URL because it's a website. Do you want to describe it? Well, no, I don't. Optional. Placeholder, optional. Do you want to display this in the filter form? So in other words, do you want someone's website to be available in the filterable form that is going to be available, on the site? No, you don't. Do you want it in keyword research? Do you want it indexable? So this is really powerful because it allows you to actually have, let's say, Mindful Marketplace, my website, would be indexable from the search form. That's really, really good, right? Because I mean, someone types in mindful, my and my website has Mindful Marketplace in the URL on this sort of site. I'm actually checking my dinner as I'm talking, so you'll have to hold for a second. All right, so yeah, so I mean that's really powerful. All right, field type optional. Do we care? No, we don't. Areas. This is where you're going to display this, and you'll see this in a second um, on the vendors page. Right, page secondary. You can choose block primary, block secondary, page primary, and page secondary. This is just where you want this to show up on the landing page for the vendor. Here you can select an icon. Right, mine just has walking, and here's the value. So the value is essentially going to cross-reference or reference back to this, right? What someone puts in the URL field in that area. All right. So there you have it. And let's go and see what this looks like so you can actually see this on a real listing. All right. So let's look at me. All right. So here's a much better looking version of myself a few years ago. Here's my URL, right? partners.mindfulmarketplace.com. Here's my description, right? Or the text that I put in my vendor field, right? Here's, I describe myself, founder, mindfulmarketplace.com. Here's my hourly rate, right? Which I just put in. That's a random number. It doesn't mean anything. All right. And then here's a listing. Here's an ebook, a free ebook. And again, this is a little bit different for those of you who are familiar with the Listing Pros or the Mylistings. There are some modifications stylistically made to this particular theme and site, right? So I did some modifications to the fonts and some design, modifications. But this is pretty much what you're getting, and it's much cleaner. And people can now buy this ebook, right, from me. They can send me a message. They can write a review. They can report the listing. You can see here. Here's my pro badge. Here's my hourly rate again. Obviously, again, that's just a random number that I picked. I'm not really taking hourly rate work. And then, of course, someone can just buy the ebook this way. They land on this page here, like any other WooCommerce oriented transaction. All right, there is a plugin that I will recommend that if you're using, regardless of whether it's Mylisting or any WooCommerce oriented site that has checkouts. I really recommend. It's called WooCommerce Checkout Field Pro, I think. It's actually free. There may be a pro version or a fee version, but it allows you to remove all of the checkout fields other than the things that you really need. In this case, I don't need like all the address, zip code, business info, all that nonsense is not necessary. It's going to suppress conversions on one of these sorts of sites. So you want to remove as many of those things as you can to facilitate a smoother and more expeditious checkout that's going to amp up your conversions. All right. So again, that's a free plugin that I installed on this particular site, and you can do it yourself as well from the WordPress, I can't speak, WordPress repository. You can actually just load it from the plugins in the back end of your site. Okay, actually, let's see if I can find it. I'll tell you which one it is. It's called Checkout Field Editor for WooCommerce. I also recommend code snippets and duplicate page. I'll tell you something else too. And again, I'm not going to do a lot more of these videos anymore on directories and marketplaces because I'm just not interested in teaching this stuff anymore. But I will tell you, one of the best ways of scaling this sort of business is create one default, perfect, ideal directory / marketplace for you and your business, and then clone it over and over again. So I could take this basic setup and all the plugins, I just do it one time. So I have all the plugins that I want, and then I essentially or I set it up exactly how it's best for our needs, and then I could just keep on cloning this install and build this same sort of site in 20 different niches in a matter of an afternoon, simply by just relaunching this basic setup with small changes in the attributes, vendors, listings, plugins, etc. that are appropriate. Let's say for a local directory versus a a more nichier community like this one. All right, let's go really quickly back into the back end so you can see how you, and again, this is for those of you who are familiar with the the Mylistings of the world. So this is how you would set up the attribute section in either the, let's look at the listings real quick so you can see the difference there. All right, so in this case for the listing attributes, right, as in contrast to the vendor attributes, these are things that are being set up on the listings themselves. So you'll see here I set up something called external, which is a special attribute that I created for this particular marketplace so that I could recommend affiliate products. So here, watch this. So if you go into this, rather than going through this buy now process that you saw a moment ago, where you go to the WooCommerce checkout and the site, the transaction is fulfilled on the site side, on my site side, this allows me instead to send these products to other people, to other people's websites or platforms, or so I can promote affiliate products doing this, right? So I can seed the site with 10 or 12 or 20 affiliate products that I have relationships with, or other people that I have relationships with, and rather than convincing them to sell their stuff on my site, I can just say, hey, I'm going to link to your product, give me an affiliate link, right? So again, it's the same thing. You can see, very, very simple. This is where it's displayed. Areas, page primary. Here's an icon. Again, that's just a goofy, it's a motorcycle. And here is the format, the value. In this case, I'm setting a large button that says visit link for more on each, on each affiliate product. So let's see what that looks like in the world. All right, perfect. So here's Podia. Okay, so Podia is our recommended course software. Well, look at this. Visit link for more. That is the affiliate link that I set up when I created an external, I set an external link for fulfillment on this product rather than the buy now button, which is now gone. So if you look at this, here's just a little bit about Podia. Many of you who are watching my videos know I'm an affiliate for Podia. I use Podia for our own community. You can see our site, partners.mindfulmarketplace.com. All right, that's running on Podia. But if I edit this listing, let me show you how easy this is. So Podia is our recommended course software. Right, now rather than saying to Podia, hey guys, I want you to create a listing on our site, right, which is a pain in the ass to call them or email them or DM the guy who runs Podia. I can just instead set an affiliate link using my existing affiliate link, right? So it makes it very simple. Now, this theme, Hivepress, excuse me, this theme, Task Hive, and the Hivepress plugin doesn't do that by default. So I needed, in this case, to create this custom attribute, right? Which you can keep on customizing this to your, ad infinitum, forever. I mean, you can keep on adding these attributes to your heart's content. So look at this. This is where my external, right? This is the attribute, external, optional, and here's my affiliate link, right? And what this does is it removes the Buy Now button, and it sets the product to link externally, which is really, really a powerful way of building your site very, very quickly, right? I always say this, but I'm not sure people understand how easy this is to do when you're seeding a site. You add affiliate products, and affiliate products are really easy to incorporate into a directory or a marketplace, right? And you don't have to ask, you're not like you're not convincing someone to sign up for anything. Instead, it's the reverse. They want you to promote their product, right? So they're of course going to be happy to be featured. So if you click on this link, as you can see, it's going to go to Podia. You can't see my URL or my, the URL window. Maybe you can, but it's, this is Podia using my affiliate link. Okay, so let's go back now and let's try one other thing. Let's say I wanted to copy this listing and have like a free PDF that I'm giving away about Podia, but I don't want necessarily folks to go to Podia directly. Instead, I want this, this like short ebook that I've written on how to optimize your online courses, and I want to deliver it on my site, right? So I could make this a $0 product. I could either leave this URL or not, and I'll show you what the difference in a minute. Now, all of a sudden, I'm going to have this Buy Now button on this. Oh, shit, what happened there? All right, let's see. This is the problem of having a shit ton. Okay, let's go back. I lost that window. My apologies. I have so many windows open. This is my sloppy ADD nature. All right, let's go back here. You'll see it already has now, it has this buy button from that change we just made. It has a send message, and it still has that visit link for more, right? So they can either buy now, they can get the ebook right here on the site, okay, check out, or they can go visit link for more, and they're going to be sent to Podia, right, using my affiliate link. Right now, I don't like that. I don't like having both buttons there, so I would really just duplicate this particular product and have two. I would have one that was a direct link and one that was an ebook, and essentially when you remove this, so now I'm removing that optional external link, and I'm going to update this. You're going to see that that link is now completely gone. Now the only option that people have is to buy now on the site. All right, so there's no more external affiliate link. It's just a normal, so this would be like an ebook on how to use Podia, let's say, or a, checklist or an audio or whatever it may be. Okay, let's go back into customize real quick. You know what, let's do this instead. So let's go back into vendor attributes, and let's set up a Twitter link, right? So allow front-end editing, yes. Field type, URL. Display and filter form, no. Display and keyword search. No, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave all of that. Areas, let's say we're going to make it page secondary. Icon, obviously you would just pick a Twitter icon, but in this case I'm just going to pick the air freshener in the interest of speed. And again, this is something you would do with Mylisting, right? Using their particular format. I mean, there's a different way of doing that there. But let's now go to our vendor. Let's pick Ian. And now you're going to see, right? So here you can see my name, founder, Mindful Marketplace. You remember that says that at the top of my thing. Here's our slogan. We help enlighten entrepreneurs tell stories that change the world, teach what you know, do what you love, wake up the world with your work. Mark me as verified. Here's my commission rate, 50%. Here's my website, partners.mindfulmarketplace.com. Location, New York City. Hourly rate, $220. And then this is the Twitter. And I forgot to name it, I guess. But let's do this. Okay, so now I'm creating now I'm going to go back once I'm done this video, and I'm going to make the name for that. I didn't add a name for it, but it should say Twitter, right? So then website, location, hourly rate. Here it would say Twitter, and this field would be aligned to the right with everything else. Let's go back up. We're going to update this. Okay, now here you have it. Here's my partners.mindfulmarketplace.com custom attribute, which is the URL, and here's my Twitter attribute, right? So now I'm linking to my Twitter page, which is here, right? It's all very, very easy to do with this theme, this plugin, I should say. It's really the Hivepress plugin that's so damn powerful, and then all the extensions and the themes are just the styling, the aesthetics that make it all look pretty. All right, and again, here's send a message. All this stuff just works really, really well out of the box. All right, and again, you can just extend this. When I used to do these videos on the Mylisting theme, this is what people were so excited about. And again, I'm a dummy. Like, I'm no web designer, web developer, coder. I'm just a moron when it comes to that stuff. But, when you have these sorts of when you have these easy ways of modifying, customizing, adding, editing fields, and customizing everything that you want the site to say, predicated around your own needs, right? This becomes just dummy simple. And that's why something like Mylisting a few years ago, to me, was so incredibly transformative relative to what was out there already. It allowed a technical moron like myself to be able to do really quick, easy, and powerful things that I would never have been able to do, on my own. I wouldn't have had to code all this stuff in without the custom attributes that are available using something like this. I prefer this over Mylisting now. I've taken some heat for not recommending Mylisting anymore. Like, people got upset with me for doing that. It's just not my preference. Like, I've now, this is when I build these sorts of communities or work with other people who are, like, my preference is something more akin to this rather than something that's all kind of, boxed into the platform like a Mylisting is, sold on a theme forest with tens of thousands of copies floating around the world, where you're never going to have anything that's really unique or, stand alone, or, everything just kind of, it all blends together. Every one of the people I've seen build a Mylisting style site. Again, it's a great theme. I'm sure the folks behind it are still really supporting it well. But it's just not my preference anymore. Something like this, to my mind, is much more powerful. It's much more customizable with um, just an infinite amount of possibilities. And of course, Hivepress, the plugin, is free, and the main theme, Listing Hive, I believe it's called, which I don't use, is also free. So you can build something like this very, very quickly for free. This particular theme, Task Hive, is not free. It's like $60, but it's a ridiculous bargain for someone like myself. And by the way, you can use this on unlimited sites. Like, he doesn't have this um, this limitation. You have to buy a different version of this every time that you launch something else. I could clone this 20 times right now and have 20 different sites ready to go in 20 different locations, and not have to pay him an extra dime, because that's part of the license, right? Whereas, and I'm 99% sure, if it's the case that's wrong, I'll change this in the description. I'm always positive that's the deal. And on ThemeForest, you can't do that, right? These sites are meant to be sold on a, you're buying one license at a time, so it's really antithetical to, good, it's not neighborly as a customer to do that. What I just said, cloning the site, you should be buying the site 20 times if that's your approach, if you're going through ThemeForest and, Mylisting, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so I'm going to shut up now, but that's some of the easy ways that you can modify the Hivepress plugin in some very cool and creative ways to build some really customizable landing pages for your listings and for your platform. Okay, I hope that helps. We do have a full community of courses and content. If you're interested in signing up for that, it's a hell of a bargain as well. I don't even know what I'm charging for that now. I think it's like $47, but there's tens of thousands of dollars worth of marketing strategies that I'm really essentially just giving away for that fee. Okay, if you're interested in that, you can click below. And if not, I'll probably do a couple more of these videos to post on YouTube, but I'm getting towards the end of my interest in directory marketing content. I just get a lot of requests. People ask me about this stuff all the time, and I feel this sort of compunction to record more stuff. Okay, that's it for today. Hope everyone has a great weekend, and I appreciate you watching. Thanks.